Dear USA, all nations, and 7.9 plus billions of humans, I just want to have this as a generic civil justice sign off. Whatever I want for the civil justice, for I am displaying the USA government errors, public sector errors, private sector errors, and how USA government operations got destroyed, and for displaying the Absolute-Monarchs scandal. I, Vethapriya PROSE, wanted these civil justice to be provided to me. Okay, so I'll just read the sign off so that it will be in all these other sessions. Okay, so for I, Vethapriya PROSE, native Indian tribe, Christian Jew of Israel, Judah, Jerusalem, and true owner of USA, and proved USA is Tamil Nadu, and I, Vethapriya PROSE, have highest impasse eligibility to lead USA. I must be the interim leader of USA now is civil justice served. And for I, Vethapriya PROSE, displayed USA government errors and the scandal of Absolute-Monarchs to USA government. I, Vethapriya PROSE, for civil justice as in Holy Bible guidelines. I, Vethapriya PROSE, want United States of America nation to rename Lord Ripon Building in Tamil Nadu, India, after my name Vethapriya is civil justice served. And I, Vethapriya PROSE, to become the Vatican leader now is civil justice served. And Pope Francis resigns abruptly now is civil justice served. And I, Vethapriya PROSE, become Supreme Chief Civil Judge for all nations, now is civil justice served. And I, Vethapriya PROSE, become Supreme Chief Family Law and Supreme Chief Children Judge for all nations is civil justice served. And I, Vethapriya PROSE, to become Global Poverty Relief Medical Director Chief for all nations, to lead and guide World Bank, United Nations organizations, World Health Organizations, Center for Disease Control, Department of Children Families, Department of Health Services, Department of Justice, Department of Revenue, Department of Agriculture, Department of Imports Export, Department of Military in all nations across the globe is civil justice served. And I, Vethapriya PROSE, to be the ambassador for all nations, starting with India, and I, Vethapriya PROSE, should get dual citizenship of USA and India now is civil justice served. And thank you all for your time. Take care, my dear fellow mankind. I sure will get civil justice for entire human kingdom in 1 minute. Thank you all for your time. Bye for now. Say all nations and 7.9 plus billions of humans. I hope you are all on the same page that I'm providing very, very crucial, very, very important civil justice sign off for myself, and it's also multitasking is the wisdom. With that said, I will quickly read through the civil justice so that we all can be on the same page. Quarter 1 of 2021. Quarter 1 is January 2021. Quarter 1 is February 2021. Quarter 1 is March 2021. So the deadliest crime display is at fault found guilty Republican government and Democrat government of USA and Absolute Monarchs, Antichrist, Queen Elizabeth II, and Pope Francis created utility tax fraud worldwide. Now, Antichrist, Pope Francis created utility tax fraud is proved by I, Vethapriya PROSE. Antichrist, Queen Elizabeth II created utility tax fraud is proved by I, Vethapriya PROSE. So here there is another testimony. When I was working on the Poverty Free Earth End of the Year 2030 volunteer project, nobody knew, even educated population never knew what is utility. And please do not laugh. That's how the pathetic state each nation worldwide as of now, even after my education. So nobody knew what is utility. So until I have to step in and educate what is utility, who creates the utility, and what are the labors that is provided, and always the labors provided by only strangers worldwide. Nobody knew. So I educated. See, the utility part comes under the processing called hierarchy of engineering. So the doctors population or the laymen other than the engineering, the non-engineering population will not have a clue. It's how non-medical people will not have a clue of what doctors are talking about. It's the same like how the engineers are going to talk, the medical field people will be at loss, right? But then I stepped in and educated on a very, very layman, very, very user-friendly way that anybody, even the not educated population also can get the education. Because for me, first population must know what is utility for a birthright, right? What is utility for a birthright? If the population knows, then everything will fall in place. Every other processing and organizations, everything will fall in place. So that's why as an excellent teacher, I stepped in. It's called an energy. The other word for utility is called as energy. So how I have to educate that energy? Energy, people who go to school or even the school age people will also learn all these energy and the utility type. But then, what about the people who do not go to the, do not have any education whatsoever? So how will you explain energy? Can anybody see energy? I know you all are laughing. Nobody can see energy. But when the word energy is proclaimed or shouted out loudest, people can relate what is energy, at least among the educated population, right? Regardless of the lawyers, regardless of doctors, regardless of engineers, regardless of construction workers, they can understand the word energy. But then I have to reach out even to the non-educated population as well. For them, energy will be like a Latin word. So what is energy? So I educated what is energy from the basic thing, and I went and educated that is an education curriculum provided to learn what is energy. It's called physics. It comes under the one classification of the science. Like chemistry, how people learn for chemical reactions, there is a physics where people learn what is energy, and there is more to it, right? When we start the vehicle, the engine has to work. It has to get the energy. Then the vehicle gets started. Otherwise, it will not get started. So energy is in different form, right? We people get tired. When we do a lot of workout, running or walking on the road for miles together, we sweat a lot in the hot sun and we get dehydrated. They get dehydrated. Means people will even pass out and faint when they have low energy. They call blood pressure level and the pH level, factors level of the blood cells. That comes under the botany and the zoology and the biology part of it. That is one part of the science. Chemistry talks about the chemical reactions part of it. Physics talks about what is energy, how. Then I educated what are the different laws that was created by humans only. There are Faraday's laws, Newton's laws, this laws, and then math also comes into this picture. How many theorems are there? How many laws people have to study? If at all they want to have that basic idea of what exactly is physics. So on the highest level, I provided what is energy, right? So even for a vehicle to start, it needs energy. For us, when we switch the switchboard on to have that light bulb to bulb, that needs to be an energy, right? When the energy gets drained out, when the electric box or the electric board blasts or there is blasts in the transformers or the blasts in the electricity board, that is how people in the households will not even get powers. Remember, recently the live example is how the Texas had powers off, right? And it can happen when there is a heavy, severe weather conditions to have that preventative measures, people will have that power shutdown mode. Then people have to use the matchbox, the candle, the torchlight for the temporary usage of the light. That is also energy, isn't it? Without energy, you cannot light up the candle. That means energy, it's all boils up to what? oxygen. Can you see oxygen? No. So without oxygen, nothing can be provided, not even energy, isn't it? People say you drink vitamins and waters like that. So that's all have oxygen in it. You take vitamin B, vitamin K, whatnot, all have oxygen in it. And only when there is a clean oxygen, our body can even take that oxygen in a healthy way. Otherwise, it will create birth defects, cancer, which I already finished out, that education. Now let's work on this energy part. So I provided what is energy. It is very user-friendly, very, very basic, very baseline level. Even the non-educated population also will get to know what is energy. That's how I educated. That is why a teacher is an excellent teacher always. People might be wondering why this teacher alone always talking about starting education with right from the baseline foundation when adults and everybody knows everything. But sadly it is not, right? Otherwise, why would there be all this crime and scandals on the first place? So that itself is a life proof that nobody in the earth knows what is utility. So I said utility is energy. If at all a civilian have to switch on the switch and then a light bulb lamps, it lights up. So that needs an energy. It's called electricity, needs an energy. Then when you go to the stove top, and when people want to cook, they switch on the stove top. That needs an energy. It's called natural gas. Or people who do not prefer natural gas will have electric stove top. For me, I don't know about my peers, I love natural gas stove top. That is my thing. That is my choice. I love it. So these are all the then what more to explain about the energy part of it? This energy as such, it's created by God, the nature. That's why people cannot fight with nature. So I have to explain what is nature. Until I educated what is nature, nobody knew what is nature. Do you all know? Please do not laugh. It's just a pathetic state each nation is in. Nobody knew what is nature until I educated nature. Until I educated what is law of attraction, what is different poles, what is magnetic poles, what is electromagnetic poles and forces. These all comes under the physics, isn't it? I educated them in a very, very layman way. Very layman way. That way all could understand about the complex physics. People who are taking the career choice towards the physics for a basic education, people know it is tough. It's like same like chemistry, biology, botany, zoology, it is tough. Because it has to do with lot of formulas, lot of theorems, lot of complex, it's a standalone. But on one side, I also provided guidance for the younger generation for them to choose a career path, isn't it? I said, so when I was educated, younger generation was also getting educated. They wanted to choose their career path towards the chemistry to become the biochemistry or chemist, or to become a physicist to become the physicist, to become to get educated with zoology or botany, to become a biologist, or to choose their career in literature, being English or whatever spoken language, to expand their career in that form, or history or geography to become the archaeologist, to go figure out land by land and dig out all the earth core particles and create, look into the fossils and identify what exactly is that. So I educated, see, the career is a huge ocean, and how people can pick and choose. And younger generation got that education. So one side I was multitasking. So nobody knew what is energy. And I said, when people drink soda, Coca-Cola or a Pepsi, or a high sugar content food, how the toddlers will be super energy, right? Like that. So on the basic line, people as a birthrights, they should know what is energy. So I educated that. Until I educated, nobody knew. Then on the next level, I said the nature. God created energy. We all know who Thomas Alva Edison is, or Micro Graham Bell. They are the people who are our forefathers, who provided a pathway for evolution and who created the airplane. Is it birds? I don't know, but I'm not sure on their names, but the two people, the two men. So, what was our lifestyle before that airplane era? What was our generation, how people were living before the light era? How people were surviving the night time without electricity? How? What type of energy was provided then? How people were cooking with nothing? They still have to have food some way or the other. How? So I was educated in every single thing. So energy is utility, utility is energy. I have to educate every single thing. Nobody knew. And then I have to educate what is nature. Then I said for civilian, any civilian, to understand why God's creation is a miracle, the first thing, the step one a civilian must do, regardless of educated or not, is must get soaked, must get marinated in the nature to get the real understanding of why God's creation is holiest and how and why each and every single creation is miracle. If you go stand in front of the oceans, you will know God's creation up front, nature. Right? If you go stand on the edge of the cliff and then watch, you know what is nature. Right? When you stand in front of any of the waterfalls, you know what is nature. But then, after educating what is nature part, how to understand God's creation as a miracle part, I went to the different layers. See, these natures created by, these energies are created by nature. So that is why humans can never ever fight with nature. It is same as humans cannot fight with true God. So what is nature? You can say true God as well too, right? What is nature? True love. It is the purest form of love, right? When you stand in front of the edge of the cliff, yeah, it is almost dangerous or risky for a civilian to stand on the edge of the cliff because some will nauseate and die. They cannot tolerate the height. For me, I cannot tolerate the height. I have that fear of heights, right? And I'm not ashamed to say that. You know, when you go to the camping spots, there will be tree houses or the steps to see the view. Yes, it is an absolute nature view. But for me to climb that height, that creates a lot of fear for me. Fear of heights. For some, they really don't care. Like, you know, they're called as the daredevils, isn't it? They go to the cliff, edge of the cliff, and they say, see, we took this picture. Some people survive, some people die. Right? But then I have to educate what is nature. Why we people cannot fight with nature. When a tsunami wave comes all of a sudden in a neighborhood or a community, where thousands and thousands or millions of people are there, people cannot fight that tsunami tidal wave. Why? Average height, the maximum talking about, maximum height of a civilian for men in American standards is what, 7 feet? And it's not in that like that in Tamil Nadu. The average height will be only anywhere between 5 to 6 maximum, that's all. Okay, that's why the women height category also differs. Here, the average height of each and every American women height is always 5'6" and above, right? Very, very few are short people, or I will say the medium average people, right? So, but then I have to educate what is nature. Why people cannot fight nature. So tell me, even if the people are 7 feet height, even if they are excellent swimmer, the Olympic champion swimmers, they just cannot fight the tsunami. Why? The energy, the force comes out of that tsunami wave, it'll supersede whatever energy humans can provide, or the maximum. So people cannot fight. So how many people die in the tsunami? And how many people, the same thing about the earthquake, avalanche, mudslides, quicksand, right? When people steps by mistake on a quicksand, they will be sucked out by the sand. Nobody can help unless there is a healthy helping processing is provided. It will be in minutes. They have to act so fast, otherwise they'll be sucked by the sand. It's called quicksand. Right? Mother Nature. Mother Nature. So these are all the energy. Energy and force comes with together. And there's a lot of formulas, there are a lot of calculations. We don't want to get into that stuff. We'll talk about the layman, fun stuff in a user-friendly way. Just we all need to know for a birthright what is utility, that's all. For utility, I have to explain all this. People might thinking, why on the earth I have to explain all this stuff to make people understand what is utility. But there is a reason, you will get it, right? So I educated all these types. So there is magnetic force there is electromagnetic force there. So then there is a gravitational force, that is why we are able to stand on this earth. Otherwise we'll be floating. So, but these are all, if you see the patterns, it's all boiled up with the amount of oxygen only. Without oxygen, I cracked down anything and everything of the misery and the puzzle of the human life cycle, my dear fellow mankind. It is because God gave me that wisdom. I already said, right? You ask me any question, I can answer it. Everything boils up to that oxygen, and oxygen we cannot see. We cannot see how much of oxygen is needed for the fire to fire up, right? We don't know. So no oxygen, no fire. That is an energy. That needs to be energy. So that means whenever a civilian is going to cook on the stove top, they will know, oh wow, this much of labor is provided for us to have the cooking stove top. Then they will thank those, they will salute those strangers. All are strangers only, right? Then the stove tops are provided by, we know the brands, the KitchenAid, the Wolf. Those are all higher end brands. Then the average middle class family, Whirlpool, Frigidaire, like that. Right? So, but then those are all labor provided by the, like humans like you and me only. But they shed their blood. Those manufacturing unit, it will be either in China or India or anywhere. But that's also they provided only to help the developing nations to be developed more. Africa too. We don't know who is building those stove tops. The white skinned people, if they are telling they do not like colored skinned people, what will they do if the Wolf and the KitchenAid stainless steel kitchen appliances are created and the stainless steel is from Tamil Nadu who is having colored skin? We all know Wolf and KitchenAid are the higher end of the kitchen appliances. It is very costly, isn't it? When the kitchen appliances on a middle class family level, on an average affordable level, anywhere between 3,000, I'm talking about the maximum, that even 1,000, let me put from 1,000 to 3,000. The Wolf and the KitchenAid appliances will be costly, right? We all know that. Nobody can't deny on that. But that's a design and the labor, everything. But beyond that, I'm talking about wherever, whether you're seeing a Whirlpool stainless steel appliances, wherever you're seeing the stainless steel appliances, that stainless steel is from Tamil Nadu. So they need an energy, right? Even for a refrigerator to work the way it should be, it needs an energy. The dishwasher needs an energy. So people, next time when they're seeing their kitchen appliances, they know if they want to grind, if they want to do a blending, a smoothie, they know even a vacuum cleaner, right? It all needs energy. So I educated energy part of it. Then what did I do for a user-friendly way? I said, see my dear fellow mankind, this energy is free. It's created by God. Okay? How? Why? Where? The planet Earth created by God. It provides its own energy that is sustainable, that can be usable, that can be reliable, that can be used forevermore. There is no limitation. God never provided, okay, I am the God, I created the planet Earth. Okay, there are 7.9 plus billions of humans. Okay, when they are using Earth, they have to pay tax to me. No, God never did that. God created the earth and only said, go enjoy my creations and live a peaceful life. The way of living, simplest way of living is indeed to Christianity. Nothing more, nothing less. There's no fancy miscellaneous attachments here or there. No. Holy marriage law mandate. That's all is the simplest life of living in true Christianity alone. Fear God. So when people knows what is nature, by default their brain will fear God. Right? Can you create earth? How about cliff? What is the labor cost for creating a cliff, do you think? You all might have seen in the pictures. They look so cute, isn't it? Always when I see those pictures, I feel, I wish I could go there, but it's impossible, right? Impossible. When you jump from the cliff, what will happen to you all? We all die, right? We all die from the cliff. But when you look at it, it's so cute, isn't it? The nature looks so cute, heavenly. And it is indeed heaven. Nature is heaven. That is the wisdom after all. God created the earth and the heaven, right? So nature is heaven. But when we misuse that nature, when we mock God's creation, that's where all this crime gives birth. And a crackdown, who is the root cause for that? Right? Who is the root cause for that? So we all need to know. So, okay, what more I explain? Hey, in science, there is 4 types of energy. I mean, on a hierarchy level, or I will put it on an umbrella level. And out of those 4 energy as a basic foundation only, all this utility is created. And to provide that utility, like how the World Wide Web and how the internet services and how the telecom providers like Verizon have to provide, or AT&T have to provide, in the same way the government wanted utility organizations to be created. And they have to provide those utility bills. That is how we get monthly billing or quarterly billing or whatever billing. It is a billing, right? So, then you all got it, right? How from nature to utility to energy to oxygen to gravitational force means it's a lot. But I educated in a very, very layman way. Anybody can understand what is utility, what is energy more. I educated. Then I said, the nature gave all the enough utility. That is why God created 70% of the oceans. People first time got that education, right? Why 70% of the oceans? Why not 70% land and why 30% of the oceans? Why God created, designed that way? There's a reason behind it. What is that reason? That much of oxygen must be generated to be provided to the plant kingdom, animal kingdom, human kingdom, and the dust particles to work with those dust particles way. That is why he created 70% of the water. It's called oceans. So the energy that's created from the oceans are called as the hydro energy. Hydro means water. And the water have one particle of hydrogen and 2 parts of oxygen. No hydrogen, no oxygen means that is what the water. When you're seeing a water, when you're drinking a cup of water, it has 1 part of hydrogen and 2 parts of oxygen. So civilian, whenever they're going to drink that water, they know it is God created water. When God created a water, do you think will it be polluted? No, right? But who pollutes it? The government, right? The city council, the municipality, the Congress, the district officers, right? The councillors, the commissioners. They are the ones who pollute the holy clean water. Why? When that clean water is intoxicated with lead, arsenic, mercury, and whatnot, the chemicals, people will become sick. When people will become sick, what will happen? The people will run back to the hospital. When they run back to the hospital, what will happen? They have to pay sales tax, federal tax, state tax, and along with getting intoxicated with the medical drugs that is created with side effects, they'll also ingest those toxins and they'll get more sick. Lead is one sick. Lead will create one sick. Means when they're eating the medical drugs with side effects will create more chemical reaction. And when they're going to the grocery and when they're eating a genetic modified food, that will create more reaction. And when they're drinking a glass of whiskey, that will create more reaction. And when they're going to smoke cigarette, tobacco, or cocaine or heroin, that will create more reaction. Civilian will die. When? After spending gasoline cost, after driving, after waiting for a long time to get an appointment with the doctor, begging to get an appointment, and after going to the hospital, and after sitting for a long time to meet with the doctor, and the doctor prescribes a medical drug with the side effects, finally the civilian will die with the debt from the medical billing only, right? So who is the one that's creating all this crime? And when this is going on, it's a live proof that Medicaid, Medicare, health insurance, auto insurance, everything got swiped out like a tsunami. Am I a tsunami? You all work on it. Am I a tsunami? Or am I wild fires? Or am I earthquake? You all work on it. Who am I? Am I volcano? Or am I avalanche? Am I a quicksand? It is almost like a quicksand mode, isn't it? All the Republican government and the Democrat government fallen down in the quicksand mode. They're getting sinking because the crime I'm providing is skyrocketing. Okay, I educated about the water energy. I said each nation, they use that water energy in a healthy way. That is why they create dams. Dam as in not dam. I know you're a lot laughing. It's not like I don't care a dam, like that dam. I'm talking about the dam. It's all rhymey words, isn't it? People, it's easy to get confused. Hair, right? Bear. Bear means barefoot versus the bear as an animal. Hare means hair as in hair of civilians versus hare means a rabbit. It's also called as a rare. Turtle and hare, the race between turtle and hare story. Everybody knows that, right? So this dam is talking about the dam. D-A-M. Versus a DAM, DAMN, means when people are in super frustrated mode, they use that word. It's a lighter word. Rather, they do not want to use any other stronger curse words, that's all. Right? I don't care a damn. They can see I don't care and stop with that. But I don't care a damn, even in that light emotion, provides a strong frustration of a civilian. That's all. Some people, instead of using that, they will use all the curse words. The F words, the M words, the B words, whatever. Available. Right? So, I educated, okay, this water energy is used by each and every single government to use that energy in a healthy way to provide electricity. So it's called hydro energy. So they have to build dams. So they are there again, the construction workers they have to risk their lives and they have to work, right? They might even fall down when it's building the dams and die, because dams are tall buildings. The sky, almost like a skyscraper, but it's almost a risky building they have to build. The architects will design, the construction workers are the first responders. They are the ones who risk their lives and build those dams. So after I educated, so any civilian crossing by the dams will salute any of the construction workers who built those dams. When people for scenic view will stand and take a selfie in the dams, isn't it? They look beautiful. The water that is flowing out of the dam, it displays how much of force, right? The force, the energy. If people wants to die, they can just jump on that spot. They will die immediately. When they jump on the top of that lot of bridges, they can die, right? Because the force. Nobody can fight against nature. The nature is God. Okay, so I educated that. So first time population got educated. Oh, okay, electricity can be even provided by water. Oh, wow. So I educated in a very layman way, versus those people in the education population, they have to go to the school, middle school, right, or high school, or even college to get that education in a formal way. That's all, in a formal setup. That's all. And I wanted to provide the same education in a very friendly, very user-friendly way. That's all. Then that is how an excellent teacher can make any student a brilliant student, right? There will never be any average student in an excellent teacher's class. The students all will pass with A grade only, because that is how a true teacher stands out in the crowd. So I educated about the water energy. It's called as a hydro energy. Then I educated that also nations use those for the electricity. Then comes the solar energy. Solar energy means it is given by nature, isn't it? God created sun. The sun's rays creates energy, right? It's called heat energy, and also electricity can be created out of that. So in Tamil Nadu, most of the food processing and all, it will be kept out on the bright sun only. With that heat that's created from the sun itself, the food processing will be provided, and that is a healthy processing, right? Nature. But here on the snowy or snow states or snow countries, that luxury is not available, right? They all have very short summer months, only 2 to 3 months. Even Alaska or Arctic and Antarctic, they cannot even see sun. It will be once in a blue moon time to see the sun. That's it. That's a slang. To say that they cannot see the sun, if at all they get to see a sun, it will be miracle mode. Alaska, those kind of land masses, they know when they will be able to see the sun, but they still survive. They still there, right? How much of snow they have to handle, but they still survive. Population are there. So I educated the energy, solar energy. It is created by the sun, the one and only sun. Do you all love sun? I know everybody loves sun. Unless it's not creating too much of humidity, then people will have to switch on the AC, right? But then sun has a lot of power, energy, and everything traces to oxygen. Even sun functions only with oxygen. I educated that. So people get to know that solar energy, and the still tasks are being worked on worldwide. People are shifting to the solar energy because it is nature given, right? It can become an affordable electricity cost for people. At the same time, when they are building their homes or the rental properties, they can make sure the 50% or at least the 75% of the energy comes from the solar energy. They can work on the solar panels, right? It's an excellent way to provide energy saving processing. So energy saver households are getting prepared, getting built up, right? You see the tag. These homes are built on the guidelines of energy saving, right? Have you seen that? You all might have seen those. Very on a recent processing of housing. The town planning, the urban development processing, right? So I educated how the solar energy can be affordable, right? Even for that to be affordable, to provide the solar panels, there needs to be labor provided, right? So that is one part. So electricity can be given from solar energy. Then I educated a nuclear energy. I already said, you go ask any school people, any students or any younger generation who are in the middle school or high school, they would have studied about the nuclear energy. So it's not a big rocket science. It comes under the chemistry classification, that's all. It's called uranium. Uranium-236 or 235 is called the nuclear reactors. They create lot of energy, but it has its own side effects and it has its own cons. You all got it, right? The life example is the Hiroshima, Nagasaki. That's a live proof for how long it happened. But even today, the people in Japan are suffering because of that, and they are more earthquake-prone nation in the earth, right? That is why they build the house based out of that earthquake prevention guidelines alone. How many times people can keep on building when earthquake comes or tsunami comes? It's impossible, right? But still people are there in Japan. They are living survival mode. They got to live with that injustice. They know tsunami is going to come. They have to provide the preventative measures. Yearly budget is provided in Japan. Sadly, those population never even knows that it was created only because of uranium-236. Who created that? Not even theories of world. It is Pope Francis and Queen Elizabeth. They got to live free. I will just throw them in the volcano for what they did to the Japan. No. Japan is Tamil Nadu, isn't it? Watch and see. The crime is so severe. So, with that said, there was that, how people will relate to me. Do you all know why? How? There's a I don't know how to pronounce, it's a long word, Fukushima, or it was starting with some nuclear energy plant in Japan, only all of the sudden it got leaked. Something happened in that facility, the nuclear power plant. Each nation has their own nuclear power plant, okay? And they never tell the secrets and the hidden hazardous things that can happen to the population, and people without any awareness only get to stay around, in and around that nuclear power plant. Even India has its own nuclear power plant. Africa, you name any nation in any continent, they have their nuclear power plant. It's only when it's abused. It's abused to create the nuclear bombs to throw on the nation. That's dangerous. And now we all got it why Obama administration, when Obama and Hillary Clinton and John Kerry, they signed up a deal with Iran. They said, do not create nuclear bomb. If at all going to use nuclear power plant for healthy electricity, it's okay. That's how they signed it up. But that became a mess, right? That became a chaos, because I was only in analyzing mode, and down the road I analyzed and I educated. Iran is one criminal land in entire earth. The first Islam leader to get out of the earth in the volcano will be only Iran leader. But by that time, the president administration got transitioned to the President Trump's administration. And you are laughing, I know. Without even any deal, without any support. Just like that, President Trump said, the deal will be shut down with Iran abruptly, right? Everybody got shocked. Why on the earth President Trump was saying that? So now that is a live proof. Whatever I was educating, he was conveying, right? Either it be a mocking mode. He was the one who mocked Goya foods. People never got it. Why all of a sudden President Trump, and that too during the COVID-19 processing, have to mock about Goya foods, right? Now you all got it. So that's pretty much it. So I have to educate about that energy, right? It's called the nuclear energy. Then, as if all these types of energy are there, and then there is one more energy called windmill energy. Wind energy, the air energy, right? With that also we people can create electricity. So first time in a very, very user-friendly way, without going to the school facility, I educated that education in a very layman, very basic foundation level. All the way started from nature, right? All the way started from oceans. And then I educated what are the different types of energy and how government have to provide labor services to get that energy to each household. I educated that, right? So that is how we get electricity. That is how we all humans get plumbing services done. All your population have that natural gas in the stove top, and also the heater, the AC, air conditioning, vacuum cleaner, whatnot. It's all created out of this energy that is given by the nature, free. When you're collecting an energy from the ocean, it is free. When you're collecting an energy from the windmill, it's free, right? Then this one particular, it is getting delayed. It is 46 minutes, but it's told okay, because it's very crucial, very important civil justice, right? The crime is so deadliest, my dear fellow mankind. And this one particular civil justice sign-off session is enough to fry and throw Queen Elizabeth next moment, next second, in not even second, less than a second, in the volcano, and get her to fry in ashes. Why? You all don't know. I analyzed ocean by ocean. Means Atlantic Ocean, Pacific Ocean, Indian Ocean, length, width, volume, breadth, of how much a volume of water drop by drop in oceans. Everybody, when I got educated, people also got educated at the same time. Then I provided one crime, display of the crime, provided the display of that crime. Each and every single household in London, it's called England or Britain, where Buckingham Palace, where Queen Elizabeth II is living, those households are having electricity taken, stolen, not even taken, stolen from. Do you know what crime is that? Stealing the rightful electricity energy that rightful belongs to one nation and then stealing it and providing for that nation. She did that crime. How? If you see in the map, Africa, the Europe nations, the London, those are all be close by only, few blocks. The Atlantic Ocean, she created $1 trillion of windmill in that Atlantic Ocean, and she stole all the energy that is rightful belong to the Africa, be it Nigeria, be it Sierra Leone, be it Congo, be it Somalia, be it Sudan. Sudan is today, this moment, they are famine. They are in famine. They don't have any food to eat. When all these things are going, do you think, do we all even need this COVID-19 crap for a plague that not even existed and we have to pay that price for mask? Can you see why my blood is boiling? And Sudan, Somalia, they are all Tamil Nadu. My blood drops. I chopped the head of Queen Elizabeth, not today, long time back. I displayed that crime. They provided the windmill in the Atlantic Ocean and took away all the electricity energy that rightful belonged to the African nations. And then they stole that energy and providing household electricity in the London. What would you all have done? It is almost like how to say, let's say USA uses only gas electricity from the Niagara Falls. Okay. But then the Queen Elizabeth II all of a sudden puts all the windmill in that around that Niagara Falls area and then steals all the energy of the waterfall and then provides electricity only to the London, and we United States of America goes out of electricity, do not have any electricity. What would you all have done? You work on that answer. What would you all have done? You all will be fighting with the government, but helpless mode, isn't it? Why? President Joe Biden or President Trump are purest prostitutes prostituting with Queen Elizabeth II, the slaves. The Pope Francis, the slaves, right? It's the same thing, same deadliest crime. She did it on a huge scale. In entire continent life cycle in the worldwide, Africa is a huge continent for a landmass alone. Right? And Africa is Tamil Nadu. My blood is super boiling. I'm not ashamed to say that. She stole that rightful electricity energy that rightful belongs to the Nigeria village or the Congo River. She even polluted that Congo River. And she is the one who created Ebola virus. For more than 30-50 years, they never even fixed that Ebola virus because she wanted all the Africans to die out of that Ebola virus. As if that crime is not enough, she also stole, like how she stole the rightful crown from me, the Kohinoor diamond crown, she stole the rightful electricity energy that rightful belongs to Africa, and she provided electricity to the household of London. The population in the London are innocent. She is not. Queen Elizabeth is not. Queen Elizabeth is not. And now we all got it. Why African nations do not have any electricity? What year are we in? 2021, isn't it? At least when I was educating, the India was at least working, at least showing, providing a show that it's working towards that goal. But Africa, nobody bothered to help. Even today, I once said, it's okay, Africa, don't worry, just hold on tight. I am there. I am there. Each dust particle in Africa belongs to me. So whoever destroyed Africa, you all know what will happen to them, isn't it? Volcano. United Arab Emirates will be thrown in Africa, it will be thrown in volcano. No matter what. They can say Allah, I will say Allah in volcano. Queen Elizabeth will say, see, I am the queen. I'll say, you go say queen in volcano. Pope Francis will say, Hail Mary. See, Pope Francis have been saying only Hail Mary for a long time. Okay, Pope, go, say Hail Mary in the volcano. Get up. First, get up. Right? Now tell me, out of all these, Pope Francis, few blocks only Somalia and Sudan. They are the chocolate providers to the Vatican, cocoa providers. Beyond that, he has all the AC, all the electricity every single day forever in a palace, that is tax-free. There is no unemployment benefits camp for him, no. Unemployment benefits, they haven't asked Pope Francis, did you work? Did you have 8 days? No, right? But he get to stay free forever, right? He says God, he's a God, right? When he is a God of USA, why on the earth he allowed Sudan to be famine as of now? Why? Can you see how I chopped on the head of the Pope Francis today with this utility crime that's been going on worldwide? It's not only in USA. This deadliest utility tax fraud crime is worldwide, and it's all created by Queen Elizabeth II. I provided with a live proof, isn't it? Not only Africa, even India do not have, even today, there are remote villages in India, they do not have electricity. And it is because of this cunning prostitute Queen Elizabeth II only. I just chopped her head. Nobody will ask why. Nobody will ask why. And because of all this crime, the deadliest crime is she stole that rightful energy, the rightful electricity, that rightful belongs only to the African nations. She stole it. And that's a proof. And that contract they cannot get away with. Can you see how people became helpless because they are all prostituting with Queen Elizabeth II? When the windmill project is $1 trillion of labor to be provided, right? They have to build the construction right in the oceans. People die out of it, right? They risk their own lives. People having seasickness cannot work on those projects, right? Seasickness means when seeing that much huge volumes of oceans, they will die. Like how fear of heights, people have fear of oceans. They will die. So people at the time they are going to sign up to work on those complex $1 trillion project, the windmill project, they risk their own lives. The families never will know whether they will come back or not safe every end of the day. Every day they have to live on that fear. But still, but tell me what went wrong in the population in London. They don't even know that their households have electricity only because Queen Elizabeth II stole that rightful energy that rightful belongs to the Africa. What would you all have done? What would you all have done? I provided an example, right? That Niagara Falls or Ellis Island, they are all water, the ocean side, right? So what if Queen Elizabeth right there provides windmill on that area and takes away all the electricity for London household? What would you all have done? You all keep your God-given hands in your heart and tell me, what would you all have done? So you all got it. So if you see the patterns of abuse she provided, it is one and the same. India, there are households in India who do not have electricity as of today, as of this moment. And same in Africa. Pattern 1, pattern 2. What is pattern 3? You got it. The M word. The M word as in Mexico. I know when I said M, many people might have thought cookies words one side. Some might have thought, is it mom like that? No, it is Mexico. South America, Central America. There are households do not have electricity there. Then what happened? Few days back, God displayed one more crime, isn't it? What crime is it? You all know the T word, not the Tiger Woods crash. Though it happened around the same time, it's not about that. It is the state of Texas, right? Why? ExxonMobil. The energy that is provided in the United States of America in all 50 states, count by count, given by ExxonMobil. So they are providing the gasoline for vehicles, they are providing electricity, heater, gas, air conditioning. So nobody knew that. Why? Because each state, they pay, the population, they get to pay to the local government, isn't it? Whoever provides that energy, gas and electric services, they provide. For California, it is PG&E, right? Like in state of Wisconsin, for the Dane County, it is MG&E, right? Like that. And you all know, it is because you all, if I'm right, or if the task is being worked on, the California Gas and Electric Agency, that PG&E organization, went bankrupt, right? Because the way they handle their wildfires, President Trump was just mocking at them, right? It went bankrupted, I think so. I don't know whether they shut it down or they're still surviving, but the crime is displayed, and I was educating. I was only educating. And see, can you see the patterns? That time also I educated, and the California Gas and Electric became bankrupt. Today, I'm educating, and state of Texas displayed its crime. One day snow. One day snow, one day freezing snow. We all are laughing, isn't it? That's just one part of it, to be aware how a state, a tropical state, can get one day freezing snow, right? But beyond that fun part of it, can you all see the crime? ExxonMobil, it's a purest form of the Republicans state. If you see the South Dakota, Montana, they're all purest form of Republicans. So they never even bother to help the white-skinned people, isn't it? If they love only white skin, they should have at least provided some kind of a help for the white-skinned people. They never did that either. One day the state of Texas created an history for this year, 2021, right? They will always come down in that memory lane. Oh yeah, that year, one fine day, it was a freezing snow in state of Texas. So, you all got it about what is the crime is all about, and why exactly I'm working on displaying all the crimes, because it is very crucial. Now tell me, what is President Trump and President Joe Biden going to do about that? Both of them are at fault for tax fraud, right? It's not only Queen Elizabeth II and Pope Francis, it is President Trump and President Joe Biden. That means whoever worked in their administration or working in their administration, they all comes under the tax fraud. They all must run to the jail now. So can you see, when I shut down Walmart, how everything will shut down? When I freeze Walmart, how USA got freezed? Nobody can fool nobody. No. Nobody. Right? So what would you all have done? You all tell me, what would you all have done? So I had to then what was the other layer? This session is going beyond 1 hour. It's still okay because it's worth it, right? So when after I educated what is energy, so if people got to know what is utility. Utility means energy, okay? So then I went and educated. With that alone, it never stops. A plumber must do his job for us to get the healthy plumbing services. Until I educated, nobody, not even one educated population knew what is plumbing. What is the hard labor provided by the plumber. I value the talent, isn't it, of a plumber. So I educated how civilians, whenever they're going to see a plumber, they have to salute. Not physically, they can salute in their heart, in silence instead, and say, thank you, soldier, and pass by. I provided how civilians must provide that self-respect and provide the honor and value the talent of the fellow mankind. The plumber only knows how to do the plumbing work. His expertise in that. Yes, I can learn the plumbing, but I need to get the train, right? I have to get it trained in rightful way. Otherwise, everything will go crashed out. You all know what will happen if no people works on a plumbing without knowing anything about the plumbing. It's a specialty skill. So when I educated, I provided multitasking, right? I also educated, hey population, whenever you see these people, just salute them, thank them, value their talents, value their labor, hard labor provided. Nobody knows who is the plumber who worked on each household or in the rental property. Strangers, isn't it? Even the plumber never knows who will be residing in the household. Stranger, the clean love, the purest love, without knowing anything, only they provided that clean love, isn't it? Beyond being in the job, beyond getting salaried, right? Beyond getting paid, they work with the cleanest love to build nations in love. They knew that they are providing holy public services. So I provided the rightful credit for the plumbers population, right? Nobody knew. When people were mocking or looking low at the plumbers population, I stood up for them. I displayed their talent. I displayed their, their valuable, basic essentials providers, right? But how the society created with the educated population looks at the plumbers population because of their economic status, because of their salary differences. Who thought? Who educated those educated population to be that way? You all work on those answers. We humans are born to help each other out in clean love only. It's a proof. It's a life proof, isn't it? I'm proving everything that why humans are born to love. When you're going to switch you're going to put the switch, a lamp is going to burn, light, it's a teamwork. Plumbing is a teamwork, right? Then I educated what is carpentry, right? People like the woodworks. It's an art, right? They have to cut the wood in specific angles, specific sizes, everything correctly. Otherwise, it will not fit. It will be thrown in the garbage, right? It is a super fun job in own standards, but people who like to do the job will do it, right? It's a risky job. When they are going to provide any kind of an carpentry, they might get accidents in their hands or anywhere. If they're not going to wear the preventative clothing, those particles might drop on their eyes and their eyes can get lost, right? So I educated. Next time, population, when you pass by, when you see the carpentries, be aware of their hard labor. Salute them, for they are the soldiers of God, right? So next time when people are seeing the construction workers, the wood workers, or the carpentry who are working in the house, they know their talent. They salute, they honor that talent, and they pass by in silence. Just say a thank you. Not if not loud, say in the heart and pass by. That itself is enough, right? People don't even have to show it explicitly, right? Just value and honor the talent of the carpentry population. I stood up for them. I stood up for them. Then I educated, okay, there is electricity, the plumbing part of it. Then there are the electricians. They have to fix all the wires. If you open the electricity board wiring, you will go mad. You will faint and pass out, right? That many wires will be mingled or twinkled or whatever you call it. You'll go crazy. But when you have your electrician to sit and work on it, out of all those thousands or hundreds of wires that is inside that electricity board, he sure will find which wire goes to kitchen, which wire goes to everything, right? But then it is he who makes our job easy. When we open our utility board, we all can see only switch. Switch 1 for kitchen, switch 2 for bathroom, switch 3 for bedroom, switch 3 for living room. Makes our life easy. I'm talking about behind that switchboard, but it's only wiring. We all will go mad. So electrician, if he does anything wrong in that wiring, it will go short circuit. They provide that also. Or if not him, if there is any electricity failure or something goes down, there is a switch that all automatically shuts down the power for safety measures, right? So whenever you are going to see an electrician, salute, thank him for the labor, for being a soldier of God. Nobody knows who is the electrician who worked in the household. So I educated about the electricity part, plumbing part, carpentry part. Then I also educated about the sewage system, right? You all know what is a sewage system is, and I educated that what is sewage. It is a waste product of the human called as poop, and it's called feces, right? Feces in the medical term, poop in the layman term, that's all. And they have more slangs for that, but I don't want to use those, right? And then the pee, and these all are waste products. They have to be like the waste product management, it comes under the waste product management. It needs to be disposed in a rightful way, like how the trash in a household should be disposed in a rightful way. Even these waste products from the humans or the animals that needs to be must be disposed in a rightful way. It's the sewage system. If that is not provided correctly, it is going to get mixed with the water, the drinking water. And then the water treatment plant has to be created. And how many companies, the privatization companies they came up with, they can still create a healthy, clean water from the waste product water itself. And how the drinking bottles, I know everybody is going to start puke, but that's just the way it is. The drinking water bottles which we go to the grocery store and pay dollars, the sales tax and the federal tax and the state tax. You know, they say the market is a spring water. They say it is this water, that water. But there are organizations that treat the water from the waste product water and create drinking water and fill it in the bottle in a nice way and then advertise it. Nestle CEO wanted people to pay for water when drinking water is free. How evil can he be? Now Nestle CEO will be running towards the jail only. Fastest than Walmart. To be locked up in the jail is better mode. I'm not going to say the Nestle CEO will just get out in the volcano, because there is innocence that is identified. But I'm just displaying how evil can he be. He educated, he misguided nations that people should pay for drinking water. In your entire grocery list, how many Americans, I would say 99% of the Americans, they pay that much trillions of dollars. It's a revenue for drinking water when it should be purest free. Do you know what crime Nestle did? Can you understand the crime provided by Nestle? Can you understand the crime provided by Coke and Pepsi from Denmark? Oh yeah, I have all the count that each European nation provided the crime. They cannot escape. That's a lady only, I think, the leader for the Denmark, I think. If you see, there are ladies who lead in the Europe nations like Germany, Austria, I don't know about Australia, New Zealand, right? They're all prostitutes, the live prostitutes, the purest form of prostitutes. They look good, right? But they are no humans. They are evil. They are purest evil. Prostitutes, Islam, Judaism, Zionism, paganism. Now tell me, I already handcuffed Denmark leader, right? So Denmark leader also will be running towards the jail only. But all along I'm displaying why President Trump is innocent. Can you see? The Denmark lady, just because she provided the Coke and Pepsi, at fault. President Trump, innocent. That Denmark lady, the Denmark leader lady can even accuse me today. But I'm just providing unbiased justice, that's all. President Joe Biden is not. President Joe Biden is at fault because he's a lawyer. So tell me, do we all need to pay for drinking water? No, right? How we all got fooled. How we all became fallen trap mode. How? Do you all think you can even boycott getting any of the Nestle products? If you're going to boycott any of the Nestle products from the grocery store, take it from me. Nestle, all the retails will be empty. The shelves will be emptied. But without doing them, I can ask Nestle to live free. But the Nestle is going to provide the Nestle services my way. I will take the cane in my hand and I will say, Nestle, provide the services my way. I own Nestle, right? My blood is boiling for how long the people have been paying for the drinking water in the grocery stores. It's beyond the tax crime. Got it? Can you see the severity of the crime? It's beyond the tax crime. And for that drinking water that needs to be free, we are paying sales tax, federal tax. That's wrong. That's crime. So from utility, one word utility, right? Can you see how many wisdom that I have to provide to the population? One word utility. Because people never knew what is utility. It's a birthright. Each civilian should know what is birthright, right? What is the cost of one bulb light up when it's lighting up? People should know how, why, when. So all the way from physics, this I'm just going on a very shortest form, but when I was working in poverty-free earth, people were super shocked because when I was going through physics, I was going through very detailed and a very user-friendly way of education only. Chemistry, botany, zoology, history, geography, literature, sports, arts, music, science, craft works. I love craft works, right? The stitching. I mean, I learned that when I was in the school. It was one of the curriculum. Then I got to learn. And I like those. But though I already said I like sketching, right? But for me, I need that peaceful mind to do those things. And it creates a lot of happiness for me when I work on those artwork and I sing songs, you know that, right? So that's pretty much it. So this is all about the utility tax fraud crime. Utility tax fraud crime. And it is not an easy joke. It needs to be addressed and it needs to be fixed now. Can you see why that $1.9 trillion of stimulus package is a garbage that needs to be thrown on the trash? And provide, I will ask all the 300 million civilians to provide fire slap on the face of President Joe Biden. Right? Hi, population, go provide a fire slap left and right on the President Joe Biden. Because that is a civil justice, healthy way, isn't it? Because everybody got into this mess, the chaos. Nobody can come out of this mess and chaos, and that is how they created this entire organized crime in a spider web mode. People all fall in trap mode, right? How many years we people have been paying for the drinking water? It becomes as one part of the grocery listing, isn't it? When people should never be paying for drinking water. And Nestle CEO misguided the nations that drinking water must be sold in dollars. The dollars blinded their eyes. I chopped the head of that Nestle CEO. The crime he provided is deadliest, my dear fellow mankind. I can allow the Nestle CEO to live free. That is the basic bailout I can do. They all threw acid on me. You all got it. Why Walmart threw acid on me? Because Walmart and Nestle is a vendor for Walmart. No Nestle, no Walmart. Right? No Nestle, no Walmart. And I'm saying I'm providing the crime of Nestle. Walmart threw acid on me. Not being aware of the real severity of the crime I was talking about. Right? What would you all have done if you all were Nestle CEO? Will you all provide that poison? It's a poison, isn't it? It comes under the poison category, isn't it? When you are selling a free drinking water that's given by God to the population, if you are selling that natural process and providing that as a tax mandated grocery item and providing that as to the population, exploiting the innocence of the population, that comes under the poison. So Nestle is a drug dealer classification crime, right? For selling drinking water in tax dollars. Oh, there is no other crime. The deadliest crime. It is way beyond the crime that's provided by Walmart. Even Walmart has its own branded drinking water selling that is separate crime. It's a standalone, but I'm talking about this Nestle crime. He never stopped with getting dollars from only one product. He even wanted the drinking water to be sold as a tax. Wrong, right? I mandated the Nestle CEO to kneel down in front of entire human kingdom and puke all the dollars he ate that rightfully belonged to the population. He can shout for help. Queen Elizabeth is not going to come. He was thinking he can live free because Queen Elizabeth too will cover his back because they are all prostituting with each other, isn't it? Nestle prostitutes with Queen Elizabeth too and Pope Francis. And Nestle, that is why they were creating all this kind of a disaster. Population was not there knowing what exactly was going on, except they were super mad with Nestle. Worldwide people are mad with Nestle, same as people are mad with Monsanto because they have created cancers and birth defects because of their unhealthy products they provided. They cannot run and hide. They cannot run and hide. The Nestle hot chocolate cocoa powder, Americans breathe with it. Without that hot cocoa, Americans will die. If all the chocolates are removed from American retails, Americans will die. I have to say this way because that is how much fanatic love of chocolates for Americans, I know. Even if there is chocolate in the poop, they will eat the chocolate because that is how much they love the chocolate. Even if if a meat is dipped in the chocolate, they will eat that chocolate. That's how they love that chocolate. Fanatic love. Obsessive. They are too much fanatic love for the chocolate. They will die without chocolate. How people have been mandated to be dependent. Right? Nestle hot cocoa. Chocolate powder. Chocolate tax, right? The crime, the tax fraud. Who is in the earth, the Nestle, to misguide that the God-given drinking water to be sold in dollars with tax? Who is he? Who is he? Right? But nobody knew. The ordinary civilians like you and me never knew. We all know is only drinking water's aisle is there, right? Nestle is just one of the brand. That's all. We should not be providing dollars as a tax for drinking water because the drinking water is given by God. It's a nature. Oceans is nature, isn't it? And we should never be paying any tax for the utility. We should not be even paying for any utility services. So yes, this scandal is all about utility tax fraud. Antichrist Pope Francis created utility tax fraud, proved by Vethapriya, PROSE. Antichrist Queen Elizabeth II created utility tax fraud, is proved by Vethapriya, PROSE. Can you see why I'm not asking Nestle CEO to jump on the volcano? Rather, just go, do it yourself, get locked up in the jail. Let me start the job and I will provide bailout process. When I'm saying chop the head means the crime provided by Nestle is severe, highest severe. Selling a drinking water. It comes under the drug dealing classification of crime and subclassification of poison selling mode. Who is he to sell a drinking water in dollars and also mandate tax for that? Who is he? Did he create oceans? Did Nestle CEO created oceans? Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean and Pacific Ocean? No, right? Did he created waterfalls, Niagara Falls or whatever, Victoria Falls in Africa like that? No, right? Who is he? So, I would rather fry Queen Elizabeth II and Pope Francis in ashes because they are the ones who brainwashed and destroyed that innocent Nestle CEO brain, isn't it? Same process what she did to Hitler, he did to the Nestle CEO. That's all. He became a human bomb. Nestle CEO became a human bomb. That's all. And is allowed to live free for being a human bomb, and for creating diseases is allowed to live free, and he's been given lot of luxury to live free for that only. And whatever the population wants the rightful benefit, they're not getting it. They all get rejected because Queen Elizabeth Pope says, oh, we love people to be in poverty mode. You will say, no, 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 no. Be very careful that poverty people are always poverty mode. We'll throw a lot of luxury. This is what they say. These fools, Republican government and Democrat government, their eyes get blinded because of that luxury. Not anymore, not anymore. So what would you all have done? I will read this civil justice one more time, but I think what's the time? It is 1 hour and 27 minutes, but it's still okay because we all know the costly billing we are paying for the utility. We should not be even paying for. And top of it, we have been paying tax. We should not be paying for the tax. Sales tax. This all comes into the retail services, right? It's long session. It's a longer session. You all might be wondering why this lady is working on all these things. It's so super long. But it is all related to that crime. And with this, I think we are only left with 20% or 15% of the crime display. Utility takes it all, right? Out of 25%, we have still 15% of the crime to be displayed. Then it will be 100% crime. Then I will get the job, I will get the salary, I will get all the benefits, I will get the civil justice, I will move on, I live happily forever after with my own life choices, right? I displayed the crime and USA have to pay the salary for that. Population was not understanding. What is the life demo? The population in Texas were only crying for help, right? The government turned their back on them, right? And I even heard that some of the civilians, household people, they even got a huge utility billing of $17,000, $20,000. That's crime. Watch and see how Pope pukes blood of worms, right? How Queen Elizabeth pukes blood of toxins, the pus. What would you all have done? When people are undergoing through unemployment and people are in the poverty mode, don't know how to pay for the bills, and they are getting the $17,000 of utility bill out of nowhere, what would you have done? What would President Trump would have done? Let's leave everybody. What would President Trump or President Joe Biden would have done? Or what would that foolish prostitute, who is that Senate, the Ted Cruz would have done? For tit for tat, for whatever the population got for highest billing, I can easily ask USA to make Ted Cruz poverty mode immediately, freeze all the banking account for Ted Cruz, and provide $20,000 utility billing out of nowhere and ask him to pay overnight. Put him under pressure. That's a tit for tat, right? That's a tit for tat mode. But I do not want that. That's not civil justice. I want that foolish prostitute Ted Cruz to live free. And just watch how the people with acid thrown on them and the scars get to live free with my guidance, right? And you all keep working on who am I. Ted Cruz lost eligibility to apologize to any of the population of the state of Texas, right? Senate. So for each and every state, there is a hell creator. For Utah, there is Mitt Romney. For state of Texas, there is Ted Cruz. For state of Minnesota, there is Amy. For state of Massachusetts, there is Elizabeth Warren. For state of Vermont, there is Bernie Sanders. And where is that Mitch McConnell prostitute from? Is he from Kentucky? Kentucky. And I don't know exactly where he's from. Schumer, maybe New York. I don't know. Right? They're all the prostitutes who are prostituting with the Queen Elizabeth too. So they will do only this kind of garbage. Population got freaked out. They don't know what to do, right? They'll be having their specific monthly budget only. Out of nowhere, when they're getting a 17,000 utility billing, what on the earth the house will do? Imagine. What if there's a cancer patient who is undergoing through chemotherapy, have to pay $50,000 trillion for that, $50,000 or $5,000 or $10,000 billing for that, and out of nowhere this utility billing is coming in their household for $17,000. What will that civilian do? One side their children are asking, begging for food, and there is no food in the refrigerator. Cannot go to the grocery anymore to buy food. What exactly went wrong? No, if you see all in these patterns, it's always that educated fools, the educated prostitutes, right? Who went to Harvard Law School, who went to accredited school, they are the private schools who went those, they are the ones who are the hell creators, isn't it? If this kind of injustice provided to President Trump, even he would have got the heart attack and died, right? Or the same thing provided to the President Joe Biden, he will die out of heart attack. So yes, this utility session went beyond 1 hour and 32 minutes. And it's still worth it. Why worth it part? It is important crime. Very important crime. Because there is more 15% of the crime I have to display, right? You all need to puke. You all will be only puking. If you're getting dehydrated, drink healthy drinking water and keep puking. Puke on the face of Pope Francis and Queen Elizabeth too. That's a discipline and a discipline process, right? Then the government will know why everybody is puking on the face of Pope Francis, why everybody is puking on the face of Queen Elizabeth II, why everybody is puking on the face of Islam leaders, why everybody is puking on the face of Dalai Lama, why everybody is puking on the face of yoga gurus, right? Drinking water is mandated to be paid tax for. Crime. Tax fraud. That comes under the tax fraud. And Nestle CEO got into that kind of a hot seat. He cannot escape. He cannot even shut down the Nestle water plant immediately within 1 second, isn't it? Because these foolish people in freaked out mode, that's all they will do. But he cannot even do that right now. He's frozen. The Nestle CEO is frozen. Now tell me, Nestle is a vendor for? I know, it's what you're thinking. Nestle is a vendor for Amazon. Can you see how everybody became helpless mode? Amazon already in the crime mode only. Walmart, Amazon are crime on a hierarchy. But just because they're having Nestle as a vendor, how that crime exponentially increases. Why not even one educated man and educated women stood up and slapped on the face of USA government, be it Republican government or a Democrat government, and educated the drinking water must never be taxed. It should be free. Why nobody educated that? Why nobody educated that? So can you see my basic education, how it helped population to be wisest after all? They all got the wake-up call, right? Population got the wake-up call. They knew that they have been paying too much for the cable services and the dish antenna services. They provided cost-cutting budgeting. They started to provide, each household they started to provide that. And now, when people are knowing that for the basic right, that they should never be paying for the drinking water, and yet they are paying for the drinking water, the blood will be boiling, right? That is a normal human function, operation. So who got entire curse? It's a Nestle CEO, right? Is he a human? You work on, is he a human or not? When we people are in the human kingdom, we all must be humans only. We all don't even have to go and ask, hey, Amazon, are you human? Hey, Walmart, are you human? That's not our job, isn't it? We should not be even wasting that labor in asking, going and everybody and asking, are you human? Only then we can be talking. Otherwise, like that. No. Without knowing anything, only we people should talk, and we should talk in blindest faith and trust and everything. And they backstab. The Nestle CEO just backstab on each and every single civilian's life by exploiting their innocence. That is wrong. That is crime. What would you all have done? I will quickly read through this civil justice one more time. For I, Vethapriya, PROSE, proved scandal of absolute monarchs and proved Pope Francis's Roman Empire King Herod as of February 2021. Any salary as in tax-free billions of dollars, USA government can provide effective immediate using direct deposit to my bank account to I am that I am Vethapriya PROSE, native Indian tribe, Israelite tribe, Christian Jew of Israel, Judah, Jerusalem, true owner of all nations worldwide can help me. So scandal phases of Republica Europe nations worldwide is Republica at fault found guilty prostitutes of Europe USA tax fraud March of 2021 is proved. At fault found guilty of fatal negligence utility is gas and electric and water and heater provided tax fraud is crime is proved by I Vethapriya PROSE. At fault found guilty of fatal negligence USA Republican government provided tax fraud is crime is proved by I Vethapriya PROSE. At fault found guilty of fatal negligence, USA Democrat government provided tax fraud is crime is proved by I Vethapriya PROSE. At fault found guilty of fatal negligence, Queen Elizabeth II provided tax fraud is crime is proved by I Vethapriya PROSE. At fault found guilty of fatal negligence, Pope Francis provided tax fraud is crime is proved by I Vethapriya PROSE. At fault found guilty of fatal negligence, GOP Mitch McConnell provided tax fraud is crime is proved by I Vethapriya PROSE. At fault found guilty of fatal negligence, President Trump 2016 to 2020 and President Joe Biden 2020 to 2024 provided tax fraud is crime is proved by I Vethapriya PROSE. At fault found guilty of fatal negligence, Supreme Court Judge Brett Kavanaugh provided tax fraud is crime is proved by I Vethapriya PROSE. At fault found guilty of fatal negligence, Roman Province Jesuits Organization of State of Wisconsin, State of Michigan, State of Illinois, State of New York, State of New England, State of Maryland, State of Louisiana, State of Missouri, State of California, State of Oregon provided tax fraud is crime is proved by I Vethapriya PROSE. And note, Queen Elizabeth II and Pope Francis and poison the utility services created robocall poverty mandate, enforced poverty disables to I Vethapriya PROSE is proved for prostitute for Republican government of USA to steal the rightful Supreme Court judge job of utility on October 2018. That rightful belonged to I Vethapriya PROSE. Civil law must be provided now without delay. At fault, so I at fault found guilty of fatal negligence, USA Republican government and USA Democrat government as in Queen Elizabeth II and Pope Francis and utility gas, electric, water, heater created robocall poverty mandate to I Vethapriya PROSE, true civil lawyer, true civil doctor, true civil Supreme Judge and Republican government GOP leader Mitch McConnell, President Trump, Supreme Court Judge Brett Kavanaugh in October 2018 enforced. Poverty mandate to I Vethapriya PROSE abruptly on October 2018 and Republican government of United States of America took away $4,500 on October 2018 abruptly and enforced finance debt of $10,000 plus since October 2018, October 2019, October 2020 and as of quarter 1, January 2021, February 2021, March 2021 to I Vethapriya PROSE and also enforced finance disabled to I Vethapriya PROSE abruptly. It is crime for at fault found guilty of fatal negligence USA Republican government and USA Democrat government and Queen Elizabeth II, Pope Francis and utility gas, electricity, water, heater created robocall poverty mandate is proved. And so civil justices, I Vethapriya PROSE want Citibank CEO to pay off my debt $10,000 plus and sign off tax-free $5,000, and Atfall found guilty of fatal negligence, USA Republican government and USA Democrat government, Queen Elizabeth II and Pope Francis, and utility gas, electric, water, heater created robocall poverty mandate with fatal negligence, so must sign off tax-free $1,500,000 trillion to be direct deposited in my bank account for all types of damages done by selfish, cunning Islam, Judaism, absolute monarchs types, wild endangered species, and health creators, and at fault and found guilty Holy Highness God of USA, Queen Elizabeth II, Pope Francis, and Republican government of USA will provide the needful help accordingly to be in the same page. Yes, my dear fellow mankind, this session went long, but it is display of deadliest crime, utility tax fraud. And it is created by Pope and Queen. And civil justice must be signed off immediately, less than 1 second, according to the Holy Bible guidelines only. Whether Queen Elizabeth says she knows Holy Bible or not, whether Pope Francis says he knows Holy Bible or not, whether Nestle CEO says whether he knows Holy Bible or not. I know Nestle CEO is the purest form of Islam, Judaism. I know Denmark leader, that lady, is Islam and Judaism. London is the purest form of Islam nation. USA became Islam nation because London is Islam nation. We all need to digest the truth after all, but not anymore. I'm here to free the United States of America from all this crap, right? Then we all can live free. So be patient, and civil justice wins always, all the time is the wisdom. Thank you all for your time. Take care. Bye for now.